hooray for us.
Alright, we're coming to you live, Warband and
I'm your host, I'm your host, Mad Dog.
Round 2.
Co-hosting is Raid. So you get the very best today, and our awesome cameraman, E-Man.
Yes. Okay. I was not on the server because I was messing with this. UNAC's Unicorn's office. I'm almost there. Just keep talking, gentlemen. They can't hear me.
Alright, gotcha.
I'm joining soon enough.
So GA is taking the first round. Master popped. It was a big infantry push. And GA Weirdo just doing some serious clutching.
I would say Weirdo won the first round. Less GA. He killed 5 TMW by himself. It was actually really nice.
So very strong showing. Map is Desert Town. TMW chose Nords as their faction. GA chose Swadia.
All right.
We did. E-Man has joined the server, so you should be getting some live feed from the round 2 right now. Right now, TMW is holding really pretty close to GA spawn. GA shifted over to the master that happens on the balcony over there, and it paid out for him.
Streamer status, please.
Master spawn pretty much right underneath GA's feet. Team W pushing in strong. They got 5 infantry coming. Soda's in the back trying to make shots. GA's got 3 ranged, 1 up top. Anders is their top man. LaRue on the stairs. Team is pushing back. Unicorn grabs a kill on him with a jav. And Team W successfully pushed up and taken the flag. Black Tag tries to come in from behind, but Shima takes him out. Cav versus Cav. Jay is looking at a counter push. Their crossbows coming in close. Mike takes down Cleric Johnson, but Weirdo on the side takes down Mike. LaRue finishes up Soda, who was hanging in the back, and now we got a mass melee going on just past the flag. Unicorns pops LaRue. Shima gets a kick on Curvin, but misses. Turns around, takes out Unicorn. Oodle picks up Anders. Ratzer takes down Clockwise and got Oodles in a 2v1 in the back. Curvis holding out against Shima, and he's in a 3v1 now. Fight for the flag, 35 seconds. Can Curvin clutch it here? TMW's got the flag if he can hold out. He gets the kill. Or Weirdo takes him down. Got
Weirdo's
stuck in between them.
Really showing up for GA. And, you know, a lot of people are talking about how GA's infantry weren't going to be able to match up, but it's only 2 rounds in, but so far, GA's infantry, especially Weirdo, you know, they're actually putting in some work and staying strong. You know, they're holding their lines pretty well.
What is the actual score, gentlemen?
So right now it's 2-0 for GA. Team W changing up a little bit. They've pushed along balcony, kind of cutting off the path that GA took last time, and they moved to meet GA. GA just realized that they were there and jumping back, running for cover. Their infantry's holding in the middle, and it looks like Team W is pushing for a quick engagement. Oodle and Curvin doing some work on the left versus M and Weirdo, and Oodle finishes up M. Weirdo's still hanging in there, but he's finally taken down that Unicorn. Mike took out Cleric Johnson. Shima doing work on a Cav, takes down Soda and Curvin. Anders picks up Oodle with a crossbow, and Ratzer finishes off Mike with melee. It's a 3v3. It's a 2v3 now. Black Tide falls to Anders. Shima's still got his horse. That's going to play big into this. You got Clockwise and Unicorn. Unicorn goes down to Shima. 3v1 with Clockwise at half health. Takes down Ratzer. Holding out against Anders and Shima. I'm sure he's hoping he can get that horse down. Shima using a long all-pike on a horse. I'm sure that was dropped by one of his teammates there. Oh, and Clockwise takes out Shima. It's a 1v1. 10 seconds till Master. This is just going to be melee deciding this one. Clockwise gets 1 hit on Anders. Anders does a hold. Clockwise with a double feint. Oh, and ranges him with a small backstep. left to right swing and takes down clockwise.
Every one of these matches has been really close, really back and forth. You know, this matchup was real anticipated, and it's kind of starting to show why. You know, GA is really actually showing up. Like I said, with their infantry, I'm really impressed.
Yeah, I'm wondering if TMW is questioning the decision to fight them on such a closed map. As far as I could tell, they won the duel being top spawn here. Team W is pushed along balcony again, same thing, but they caught GA in a much better position. Tons of throne coming in. Rats are almost at no health right now. Curvin takes down M. Team W just doing a strong push. Claire Johnson caught in the bag versus Oodle and Curvin. Shima comes in looking to pick up Soda but misses, but Weirdo takes down Unicorn. Johnson wraps up Oodle. Black Tide takes down Ratzer. Curvin takes down Shima, so Shima's off his horse. Weirdo picking up Mike. Clockwise finishes up LaRue and tries to come back into it and grabs Cleric Johnson as well. Curvin picks up Weirdo. It's a 3v1 in favor of Team W. Anders, their last remaining man. Black Tide's still on his horse. Soda with a bow. Curvin has the infantry. And they take him down.
It's kind of the mark of a top tier team. They have their back to a wall. You know, they're down 0-3. It's match point, and you know, they don't camp. They don't sit back. They stuck with what they do. It was a really strong inf push, and it was really effective. And I think that's you know, one of the things, like I said, that's indicative of a confident, well-led, high-tier team. So it's really good to see from them the confidence they have.
It's big for them too. Now GA's lost all their armor, and Team W should have picked up some armor.
Yeah, Nords can really start to snowball, you know. So they could, you know, the possibility of coming back 4-3 is still there for them. So
Team W basically in their spawn. GA, instead of taking the side route that they have been, has actually pushed up Team W's left side. LaRue nails a hit, looks like probably on Oodle, foot shot. Team W is going to back off of this. Pretty smart move. GA's got the high ground and the low ground depth to their crossbows. But they're holding at the entrance. You gotta assume they're hoping for a master spawn behind them.
and it's very likely that every round is going to end up going to master with these two.
Ratzer and LaRue have their crossbows trained on the arch. Infantry playing back off of them. Shima just sitting in the back. And looks like we got 10 seconds till master. We'll see where it pops and which team gets the advantage from it. Master spawns. It's actually a middle spawn. Pretty neutral for both teams. We'll see if GA, yep, GA is going to wrap through Team W spawn maybe. Yep, GA is coming through Team W spawn. Looks like they're going to take the bridge. All of Team W dropped low, so they're coming up the low alley. Both teams kind of diverge. Four GAs went low and ran into the whole Team W team. They're trying to back off that quick. Team W chooses not to push it. And that's somewhat put them in a small crossfire. LaRue takes down Soda, who was kind of hanging out in the back. Shima there harassing the backside of Team W's infantry. Oh, LaRue with a team kill on Cleric Johnson, but Anders takes down Mike. Weirdo picks up Clockwise, and that's a TK for Black Tide on Unicorn. Shima's still on his horse. Anders takes down Oodle. Curvin trying to hang it on by a thread and gets taken down by Shima. And Black Tide, your last man, falls to a shot from LaRue. So that's 4-1 favor of GA.
The server being East Coast has really, really helped GA. I mean, the crossbows, LaRue and Anders especially, were just piecing TMW up. You know, that whole engagement. The crossfires were good, but like I said, the East Coast server really helps out a lot. They haven't been able to play a lot on East Coast servers, so I'm sure TMW is a little bit surprised by how accurate they are. And I mean, I think you can really expect that the whole time. You know, GA's edge is going to be, they're going to want those crossfires. They're going to want to be getting those range kills. And that's always, you know, where they've generated their offense so far this tournament. You know, their offense comes from their range and their cav. Their inf just kind of holds the line for them.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about them is how well their infantry plays off their ranged. You see them very passive, very behind them, and just letting the range work. Just a delayed form of melee.
Yeah, it's very handle and hammer like. I mean, you see that with cavalry and infantry a lot, but I've never seen it done with ranges the way that GA does it. You know, the infantry they survive so well, and they just, you know, turn your back, and the crossbows, dude, they may miss once, they don't miss twice. You know, it's pretty cool to watch. It's really frustrating though to fight against.
Streaming statuses get handed out. Going into the second set.
First one was 4-1, so if TMW wants to take a lead, they have to 4-0 these guys here, or at the very least 4-1 to tie.
Already a little different strategy. Looks like TMW has picked up Clockwise and Ruin as crossbows. Curvin, Unicorn, and Oodle as their infantry. Small change by GA, only Anders and LaRue as their archers. 4 infantry and a cav, Shima of course. Team W pushes up their right side, GA's left side, moving towards GA's spawn. 2 crossbows move to take the high ground, that's Clockwise and Ruin. And GA just kind of hanging out. I think they're waiting to see what's going to happen. LaRue's getting some shots from the bridge. GA content to sit in the middle here, not looking too worried about. Really, they're providing targets for Team W's ranged to try and make shots, while their ranged try and pick them off. We'll see if anyone connects. Soda on the far right side has a good angle on most of the GA infantry. Got about 20 seconds till master. Both teams neutrally positioned for all 3 masters. GA with a small advantage, I'd say, on the middle and the one that spawns on the balcony. Two seconds. Master's about to pop. Master spawns in the middle. Team W looking like they might fall back towards their spawn to go to it. GA's moving over the stone bridge up top. Moving to it quick. I think both teams should meet up pretty close to the same time. Oh, and Ruin dropped. Looks like a crash or a DC.
Looks like GA is not going to drop anybody.
Black Tide comes around. Axel was pressing Soda. Black Tide came around trying to wrap him up. Wasn't able to converge on it. Soda gets a headshot on Shima. That's GA's cav down. Anders and LaRue. LaRue moves to the flag. Both Curvin and Oodle are there. Oh, Axel takes down Curvin quick. Oodle trying to make a stay versus M. Anders coming into melee with him. Soda gets some shots in the back. Axel presses him. Here comes Black Tide. Gets the bump. Allows Unicorn to grab a free hit. Black Tide on counter now that Sheamus fell off his horse. Ooh, Axel takes down Oodle, and LaRue gets the shot on Black Tide. Cleric Johnson wraps up Soda, and Team W has fallen fast. Cleric Johnson takes down Unicorn, and Weirdo finishes up clockwise. 1-0 in favor of GA.
Losing Ruin like that hurt them pretty bad, honestly, at 6v7. It's kind of hard to fight back from. But, you know, that was really close. That fight was really close. There's really not a lot you can do against, in a 6v7 kind of situation against two evenly matched opponents like that. So they're just going to have to kind of swallow that one and go for the tie with a 4-1.
Yeah, losing Ruin, and especially when the engagement was about to happen, was real tough for Team W.
Yeah, I think he was one of the crossbows, so.
Yep, he was. And the one thing you'll notice is how long these melees are lasting, how long these engagements are lasting, so just speaks well of both teams. Nobody's folding immediately.
Cameraman question: is there a map for the mini map for this one? Because I don't see Desert Town on the list.
Don't think we have a mini map up for you guys. It's actually not in the list. So unfortunately, you'll just have to go by what you see and what you hear. Of course, you would be seeing the mini map as well, but that's neither here nor there. Black Tide versus Shima, Cav versus Cav. Black Tide winning in the back. Shima apparently out of position or going for Black Tide. Black Tide gets a small amount of bravado there. And yeah, looks like it was a Cav test. Shima wanted to see what Black Tide had. Ten seconds till master. Team W holding the middle. They're blocking two masters from GA. GA would luck out with a high balcony spawn. We'll see if they get it right now. Nope. Master spawns in the middle. GA is going to have to push through Team W to reach it. Team W's falling back to set up as GA approaches. Looks like GA is taking a straight path towards the flag. The bows come out. Shots are about to happen. Team W's had plenty of time to set up, so hopefully they got their optimal setup to take this as GA pushes down.
Jay's also missing a Cav for this one. That's big.
Oh, except Shima's horse goes and hits clockwise for spite. Black Tide comes in from the back, knocks two GAs down, and so is able to capitalize by taking out LaRue. A lot of thrown exchange. Black Tide comes in for M, misses. Oodle takes down Cleric Johnson. M takes a hit. Unicorn backing off of a 3v1. Black Tide takes down Axel, and Team W's Cav, or the lack of GA's Cav, really showing up. And that's a whole lot of dead GAs.
That flag pop was just so advantageous for TMW. They got their crossbow spread, and it was also really big to have Black Tide up on Cav. You know, Shima went down, and whenever you're fighting a crossbow spread like that, you really need your Cav to show up to prevent the crossbows from kiting, and they just didn't have it. So, I mean, it was really big. Black Tide taking them down, and the one-on-one was huge, and then they had the spread. Just really hard to go up against.
Shima
Taking shots for free.
Yeah, venturing forth, I guess scouting, and runs into the whole Team W team. Horse takes two crossbow shots. Team W's pushed up to that same middle position right at the base of the bridge. Soda and Clockwise coming up to take a look. Anders is there trying to push him back with his bow. LaRue's covering the right side, making sure no one's coming low for him. I think this is really good position for Team W. They're really checking, like I said, two masters from GA and puts them in close enough proximity to push if it does pop on their on the side on the balcony. Yeah,
the positional play from both teams is really good.
Team W. Oh, GA is actually pressing up, pushing Team W back. That's pre-flag, but it's just a feint. Team W running for the hills, setting up, and GA is already backed up to their previous position. It's like Team W is a little jumpy, definitely showing these guys some respect.
Yeah, that's a lot of jumpy.
I could just imagine the
Team speak.
yeah,
Guys,
the team
fucking
speak.
run! Oh,
Run,
just
run,
kidding.
oh my god. So both teams have come back up. Master Pops in Team W spawn. So once again, GA is going to have to press through it, through Team W to make it a Master. Shima's up on his horse. Black Tie's picked up a heavy this round, which definitely isn't going to hurt things. So Team W is going to get a Master once again, going to be able to set up as they wish. They've put two crossbows in that little right alcove. We'll see how it pays off. Right now, skirmishing with a lot of range. Jay pushing strong to the side. Clockwise gets a kill, and there's a team kill. Mr. X taking down Oodle. That's definitely got to hurt. And Unicorn just got caught in the middle of 4 GAs with no one to help him. Unicorn gets taken down. Some shots still coming in. Soda clockwise, Mr. X still up.
Not sure what Black Tide's doing.
I was about to say if they still had a cab up. Looks like Black Tie's lost his horse. This fight dismounted now. GA is pressing towards the flag now. Soda with a great shot on him. GA definitely pressing into a crossfire if Team W can take advantage of it. Weirdo gets a tag with a jab on clockwise, and both archers are coming into play for GA. Curvin versus Axel. Axel takes him down pretty quick. Axel finishing up clockwise, Weirdo taking out Black Tide, and it's last man standing Soda goes down to Weirdo with other GAs there to pick it up. So right now this is definitely just a fight to try and pick up rounds going into the second map, which is basically going to be GA's choice, I believe. At this point, seeing the way that GA's infantry is shown up for the match, I would definitely try and find something open, get a couple more cav running for Team W, try and mix it up a little bit. Clockwise taking a shot, Weirdo shield. Anders trying to catch him while he doesn't. Unsuccessful. Soda coming up. Trying to do the same thing. Both teams move to the same position.
They both seem really, really comfortable to just hold these spots to a master.
Soda getting a shot on M. And looks like GA is coming up. Possible feint, possible push. They're thinking about it. Team W not running so far back. They say, okay, we've seen this before. And yep, their GA falls back. Most of the skirmishing so far has only netted M going down by half. Black Tide in the back with the crossbow. Makes a shot on Shima's horse's head, makes him a unicorn. That definitely can't be good. Weakening up the cav a little bit. We got 15 seconds till Master spawns, and then we'll have the mass engagement. You know, probably.
X just reloaded the crossbow for Black Tide. It's pretty funny.
Well, you gotta have swaps, man. It's all about swaps.
Swaps.
Finally, the Master spawns in GA's favor, but they're not quick to push to it, letting Team W kind of come up exposed. They definitely got them flanked on this bridge if Team W tries to push. Archer spread with depth to it. Both cav are out of play at the moment. Shima's kind of chasing Black Tide back. Team W decides they don't really want to try and test that, which I don't blame them. And they're going to be going the long way around the Master, making the drop. They're going through the three-way, the crossroads right now. I'd say they definitely still have time, but it's still going to be an uphill battle.
Yeah, it's going to be just as hard, I'd say.
Yeah, looks like all of TMW flanked around. Maybe it would have been better to leave one or two back. Maybe put a little split on this. Clockwise X with their crossbows out. Clockwise takes a shot. LaRue makes the drop down and has the rear flank. This would be a great time for Black Tide to come in with his cav, but he's nowhere to be found. And yeah, it's proven difficult for Team W to push up these stairs. Weirdo takes down Oodle. Curvin gets a kill on Cleric Johnson. M is at a sliver of health. There comes Black Tide, and Curvin takes down M. Interrupting the melee. Curvin in a 2v1. Is able to stay alive. Axel comes in, gets a hit on him. Clockwise Unicorn, Curvin on the flag. Critical team kill for GA. Axel takes down Weirdo. In the meantime, Weirdo took down Clockwise. Ander gets a kill on Mr. X. Looks like it is a 3v4. Shima comes back in on the backside of Curvin. Doesn't get a chance to make it because LaRue takes him down. Anders takes down Unicorn, and the flag hits before Black Tide falls.
I don't know if you saw it there, but Black Tide got reared and he was afraid of getting shot in the head, so he dismounted. And when he dismounted, Shima ran up and grabbed the armored horse. It's pretty funny, and I mean, not only did they lose a round because of it, but you know, now you're fighting a Nord team with an armored horse, so.
Yeah, I did miss that. Both of these guys, Shima and Black Tide, fighting for the title best European NA cav. It's a small subsidiary of your typical NA cav. You know, it's like a, I wouldn't say lower grade, but you get the general idea.
Just smells a little more. Maybe not quite as nice.
Focusing on the match here, we have a hand this round. Team W has taken the long way going through crossroads. They've made it up the stairs. GA is in there to counter him, so they're going to back off, allow them to have that. A slew of shots and thrown coming in on GA's shield. So far, no damage taken by either team. Team W looks like they're massively set up for that master. Just putting all their money all their money's on Black. Master's going to spawn underneath us. At least they hope.
It's a pretty big bet, man. I mean, they're pretty much giving up the other two spawns. So.
Yep. No, I'm giving up the whole map. So we'll see if it pays off for them. But they're definitely set up for it. One switch. Black Tide off his horse is now a crossbow, sitting at the base of where middle comes down. Wow, and it is Black. Jay is going to have to push into TMW. 3 TMW backing off as the mass comes in. Oh, Weirdo with a critical kill on Clockwise, taking a man down early. Cleric Johnson takes out Soda. Axel takes down Curvin, and Team W is falling fast here. Oodle in a 3v1, doing the best he can. LaRue picks up Unicorn. Cleric Johnson finally takes down Oodle. Black Tide makes it to the party, but is late. He was basically out of that fight the whole time from his positioning. And that's an ace.
TMW was bred for that, man. They're trying to out GA. You know, like we've talked about their infantry, and I didn't see the cohesion there. That was a 3v7 up front. They you know, TMW tried to split off 3 to flank them, and then it seems like they thought better of it, and that's right as GA was coming through. So 7 GA were bearing down on 3 TMW. You know, that's not a good sign if you want to win a round. And I just think they need to go back to what they do. You know, setting up crossfires is great, but if you're gonna engage, you need to do it confidently, not, you know, 3 people running away from 7. You know, if they're gonna push, they need to push, and I just think that's the nerves, man. I think they're down, and it's just the desperation. But if they want a chance, they need to stick with what they do and not go away from it. You know, like, like I said, don't try to out GA. Just play your game, beat TMW. I mean, I'm all for spreads. Crossbow spreads are great, but like I said, I think that was a little bit too much there.
Well, even picking Black Tide up as a crossbow, which doesn't make sense to me, but you know, he was out of that fight the whole time. You got the spread, but it was definitely way too spread. And I think that's a big difference. TMW was trying to beat GA, but they weren't doing it very well. You could see how far out front their infantry was compared to GA's infantry, who a lot of times are sitting like right beside or almost behind their ranged.
Exactly, and you know, they pretty much just that was the very definition of overextension. Their infantry was just, you know, they couldn't be supported, and that was why that was just so much of a massacre. You know, earlier on, a few rounds ago, actually no, I'd say last set, TMW was fighting how they fight, and they were together. They had some crossfires, they had some support, but mainly it was just the muscle. You know, just a straight balled up fist of infantry. But yeah, right there, like you mentioned, Black Tide was sitting down low. They're trying to set up crossfires, but it was just like, you know, like we said, too much.
So GA showing that they're very strong on Desert Town. They took all rounds from Wapa on Desert Town, taken all but 2 rounds. Scores 8-2 going into the second map in favor of GA. So far, Desert Town definitely proven to be a strong map for GA.
Yeah, I mean, TMW has, I think, 2 rounds to drop for a tie, 1 round to drop for a win.
I missed the map choice, but I certainly hope it's something open for Team W.
I think I saw Reverend. I'm not sure. Yeah, GA said Reverend. I'm not sure who picked Desert Town.
Pretty sure Team W did. That's kind of a consistent one that I've seen him pick.
Huh, for some reason I thought GA picked this, because I would imagine, even as TMW, you don't have the best cav in the world. I still think that, you know, I'll say it a million times, if you play GA, you know, expose their cav. That's, you know, really what needs to be done. It's really difficult to play these guys on this closed map, especially on an East Coast server. You know, this is how they play. This is like trying to play like BKS or even Bellion or WK on planes. It's like, you know, why? You have other map choices. That's what I think they, you know, I wish they would have gone with that. But even on Reverend, you know, like, I hope that they'll switch to a more cav heavy style and try to force cav to come into play as much as they can.
Yeah, I think they definitely shouldn't be trying to exchange too much range for him. I would definitely try and leverage the cav, and that's two teams so far that I wouldn't say have made the mistake, but have underestimated GA on these closed maps, underestimated their infantry. Wapa chose Desert Town, and now Team W's chose Desert Town, and just thinking that they'll do better with the IMP as far as the pings go. But GA has shown that they just hang in there. They can hang with these teams even at that ping.
Well, I mean, the cool thing here is we're seeing, I mean, GA's ping is pretty much what they're used to. It's pretty normal. It's a little bit high, but barely, you know. So with going into that, you know, I would say GA's inf and their range, especially their crossbows, I mean, frankly, it's fucking scary. So yeah, man, use the cav. That's where they're weak, and that's what TMW needs to do. This isn't live.
Yep. If it is, poor Anders.
Hey, if it was Weirdo, he'd have a chance, man. That guy's showing up today.
Oh, never mind. Anders has got this.
X down. Wow,
So
X has 3 ping. I didn't know that.
yeah, he's got some fiber optic. Oh, and Anders takes down Unicorn. Anders takes down X and then takes down Unicorn. Oh, and finally brought down by 3 TMW.
I think Roran's still a little bit upset about that disconnect.
So,
Looking-
so coming in the second map, Reverend Village, TMW chose Vagars. GA has chosen Serenid. Both factions have bows, high rates of fire.
Man, I swear, Serenade and Vager and Rodog and Nord are just going to be forever engaged in battle in every NA tournament.
Classic. It's kind of one of those that, you know, it's almost the only other faction that can hang.
Which one?
Well, Vagars, of course, being the stronger of the two factions, they got a small nerf this last patch, but I mean, it's not huge. Serenad's, you know, somewhat can hang with that.
It really depends on the map. I think that obviously Vagars have the edge with the range, but as far as like the dogfighting goes, say on plains or even field or maybe ruins, Serenade can have the edge depending on the players in the map.
Yep. Yeah, it's the edge with the cav, really.
But I mean, it's hard on this map. It's hard to take Serenade and use a cav edge because unless you get to the armored horse, the Serenade horses dies so easy, especially today. You know, maybe 2 years ago, you know, you can run coursers and Serenade horses somewhat effectively, but archers are so accurate and that, you know, your horse is just gonna melt. So on this map, it's gonna be difficult to bring that cav edge unless TMW really shows up on the Vagar side with hunters.
So, and the only thing I could think why GA would choose this is, I mean, they're definitely not going for the cav. I guess they're just going for the, they don't want to fight, they don't want to be this open and fight with a crossbow faction versus an archer faction. That's the only thing I could think of.
I'm not sure of the map pool, but seeing as how Cloves was just used up, this might be the next map that they're, you know, most comfortable with. And frankly, this is, I think it's mixed or maybe even open, but you can play this like a closed map. Just sit around the middle, and it's a closed map. You know, you can really force it to be that. So I think that's also why, and they're comfortable, and it's on the Euro map rotation, so.
Well, looks like we're having to have a, I don't know, European P break or.
It's tea time, dude.
Oh, right.
Righto.
Pip. Well, hopefully after all the crumpets are gone, we'll be able to get this match going.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit before we went live, and you know, talking about how we thought TMW would have the infantry edge, and frankly, I think everybody in the community, like, that's what people were talking about. But kind of interesting that GA kind of just shut everybody up as far as you know, showing everybody their inf is really top tier.
Very strong showing, no doubt.
It's hard not to have top tier inf with like and you know.
And that is a all cav, the classic clockwise all cav strategy.
In a competitive match, whoa.
Yeah, on this, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. GA is great at countering cav. Ruin there already getting stopped. So does Horse getting stopped. So far, no kills for the mass cav rush.
That's big. We gotta get those early kills.
And we're assuming this is live. Shots are getting fired. Bayo gets the first kill on M, but Anders takes down Unicorn right after. LaRue is at near low health, picks up Anders, or picks up a bamboo spear, able to stop these cav just as well as an infantry. Keeps him from shooting though. Shots are coming now from both LaRue and Weirdo, who are around now GA's archery. Rats are on top of the hill trying to stay in there. Shima gets rear, so does Horse goes down. Ratzer gets a hit, and then Shima finishes him up. And this is looking pick up by Mr. X on LaRue. So the focus is just shifting. They basically split GA, and the focus is just shifting between one and the other. X takes down Shima. That was a huge team kill by Ratzer on Weirdo. Clockwise takes down Anders. TMW sitting with the advantage here, but gosh, I don't know if I'd push that right now. I'd let Master pop.
They're no Euros, they'll push it.
Ruin takes down Mitchell, loses his horse in the process. 1 GA left.
You know, that almost didn't work, and that's because TMW is going in one at a time, and you can't play LCAV like that. You have to hit hard one spot altogether, like a mailed fist, you know. And I'm surprised they had the balls to pull it off. Like they actually went with it, you know. But the execution was a bit sloppy. I was kind of scared there for a second.
Yeah, honestly, I thought I saw the balance tipping in favor of GA pretty quick.
Yeah, pretty hard, and then they were just one at a time, you know. And the bamboo spears came out, and but TMW that team kill was massive. The team kill on GA side.
This is a tough map to do that on because there's just so much cover right by the spawn.
Good for TMW. I mean, that took some balls on this map.
Pretty ballsy move. That one goes out to you, Tyrion. So GA spawned in, TMW off of their all cav, running 3 cav, 3 archers, 1 infantry. GA pushing up their left side on the outside of the fence. Now they're moving up to the middle alley. So a little bit slow around with the lack of the all cav. TMW has basically moved around, taking GA's spawn. Yep. Sitting over in GA spawn. Unicorn sitting on Soda. Kind of flying through the map trying to find them all here.
I think about that all cav rush, it worked out. That means TMW got to armor up a little bit. I don't see any Lamalar, but it definitely gives them an edge.
LaRue holding the very strong position on the cart in the alcove. Any master that pops on that side will they'll definitely have to deal with that. We got about 10 seconds till master pops. Basically all Team W is grouped up in the back close to GA spawn, right behind the middle houses. Soda takes a hit from LaRue, and Soda without a shield, what's this world coming to? Soda and Archer without a shield, and LaRue is just trying to put it to him. Mr. X comes in to save him, and Soda is able to make it to the barrier.
Is that a BKS Archer without a shield? What is this?
This is not the Soda we've come to like know and really dislike.
Yeah, alright. Dislike.
So, Master Spawn definitely in favor of GA. 3 infantry pushing to it. 2 with spears out. Andrews is going there as an archer.
Bamboo spears and bows. It's going to be real hard for TMW to push.
To try and get their cav in there. Looks like Unicorn and Clockwise are going to come up, do the diversion. Team W have 2 archers in the back if they can make some shots on this. And I would look for Team W cav to be coming in on this flag here pretty soon. M taking a shot, puts him at half health. X comes around looking for Anders. Mitchell is couched right behind him. Mitchell tells him about it. Anders jumps, turns around. X doesn't get a hit. X runs into the map edge, can't see, gets stuck, and barely makes it out, while Clockwise is retreating, trying to make some shots. Unicorn gets a stop on Shima. Mitchell gets a small hit on Bayo's horse. Mr. X's horse goes down, but he's right beside the flag. That's going to put a Team W on the flag.
That's good.
GA a little spread. Anders and Weirdo on the left side with Clockwise. Cav comes in. Clockwise takes down Ratzer, but Mr. X falls, as does Bayo, to that group that comes in on the master flag. Unicorn takes down M, but in the meantime, Anders takes down Clockwise. So Team W is spread but reeling. Huge kill. Unicorn takes down Mitchell at the same time. Shima, the Cav, goes down to Ruin, and the Vagars have won by the master. Time runs out.
That was a big scrap.
Unicorn dying right there. That's going to mean no upgrades for him.
It's I mean, it's obviously a high-level match. Everyone knows that, but the fact that both teams are just not dying. I mean, yeah, okay, you can say GA is defensive, and it's natural for their engagements to take a long time. But still, I mean, they were fighting for probably a minute 30 straight, and not a lot was happening, so it's pretty high level. Oh wow, free shots.
Peek around again, Soda. Oh no, Ruin's gonna come and look. Hey, did you get a shot from around this corner? Let me take a look.
Guys, I have bows. I mean, they shot me.
Gee, once again, basically both teams once again doing a spawn swap. Maybe they'll both be happy the next set when they get these spawns. M is pushed up quite far on clockwise by himself. Gets a whiff around the corner, and here comes the rest of GA. LaRue, Weirdo, Anders coming up on the left side, Unicorn out front. Team W spread out just a little bit, with a little protection from Soda in the back. Team W Cav, all three sitting off to their right flank. Cav comes in a little more to provide a little more protection. Clockwise flanks around, doesn't see LaRue, and barely makes it back behind cover before LaRue gets the shot. Boy, that was a hit on Shima's horse. And maybe on Shima. So both those hurting a little bit. We got 6 seconds till Master spawns. Both teams really focused on the middle section around the well, and it's a far Master spawn again. Anders takes a hit there as he's trying to move. Black Tie comes in, isolates LaRue, but takes a hit in the process. Both GA Cav come in, trying to capitalize on that. Shima missing clockwise twice, comes through the middle. Melee going on the backside, and Shima picks up clockwise finally. Black Tide finally takes out LaRue. Another team kill. Shima takes down Weirdo. Black Tide takes down M. Soda takes down Shima, and they're falling like flies. That is a lot of TMW green on their screens.
It's a lot of red for GA, and I think it's really coming down to that cav edge, like I was talking about. It's a kind of fighting that's the kind of fighting GA's not good at. It's always having to hold your tilde key. It's the situational awareness, always everything around you. It's like a 360-degree battlefield, as opposed to just very concise, sharp crossfire angles. And it's really kind of giving them a hard time. Although I think they're gonna get the chance to kind of do it back when they get the hunters. But the question is, do they have the playmakers at the cav spot?
Yep, and playing Team W. Team W is very, very good at dealing with a few calves. So I think we're seeing it where they realized on Desert Town that toe-to-toe melee is not going to work. So running that cav as an interrupt is definitely working for them. It's 3-0 in favor of Team W. Of course, Jay's looking to.
I mean, Team W's not even really having to bump. I mean, they are bumping, but their cav are actually the ones getting the kills, so it's not like they're just running one armored bump cav and holding W. They're actually picking up the kills themselves. A lot of couches, a lot of bump slashes, so I'm just not sure if GA is going to actually be able to match that. I mean, they can bump, but I don't know if they have the cav players to pick up the kills. We'll see. But Team W's looking good so far. I mean, 3-0. They need to play perfect, and they're doing that so far.
Yep. Yeah, they're definitely bouncing back, and that's another huge thing for a team at this level, not to say we're down and basically that's the end of the match.
Yeah, it's real easy for frustration to kind of just creep in, and they're holding it together. So
for the first time, GA doesn't push up and take Team W spawn. They're holding those houses in the middle, maybe looking for a little more cover, maybe looking for a different master spawn.
Yeah, that may be what puts Team W in trouble. I mean, so far the spawn has been out to the side, which allows for that open kind of cav play. But if it's an inside spawn, if it's in tight close quarters, that lends itself more to GA with the archers and the crossfires.
And this is the far spawn again. Apparently Master's broken on Reverend today.
Team W are hackers.
Ghosting, I say. So GA has moved. They're pushing up their left side, coming towards Team W. Team W, a little spread out. And GA is moving en masse. 2 infantry pushing up the middle alley. LaRue gets in there as an archer. Ruin is lagging behind. The Cav are close by, but he's definitely still in danger as both GA Cav come in, and he's about to be in a 2v1 with an archer and Cav right beside him. Unicorn takes a hit from him. Big headshot from LaRue, taking down Bayo. That's one TMW Cav down. This may be the round that GA is looking for. Both archers doing work for GA, causing interrupts. Black Tie comes in, gets the bump. Unicorn isn't able to capitalize it. Shima takes down Rurin, that's another archer down. Clockwise takes down Mitchell's horse, but can't get the kill afterwards. And this might be an... Go for it, Raid.
Ace! Looks like Tim, but oh wow, 6 to 7. They may have lost somebody. That's not to say that GA wasn't really dominating that engagement, but it definitely doesn't help. Or they could be substituting. It's always possible.
Yep. The big thing there was GA was clumped. TMW allowed themselves to get strung out. Looks like half of them were going for the flag, half of them were stopping to make shots.
Yeah, they really got caught. They got caught by that fence, and they were trying to cover their ally. But at that point, I'd consider just letting them go. Just go for the flag, reset the fight.
Yep, that was the big thing. They were forced to push a bad situation because one person got caught out in the open. Yeah, you're right. I almost would have just let it happen. Jay pretty happy with the way that round went, so they're moving in the same position. See a little bit more armor on most of the members of GA.
I think Team W has to win every round from here on out to win, correct?
That is correct. To take the win, if they lose another one, that's a tie. If they lose 2 more, that's a loss.
Although again, like we said, these guys are both going to single a limb, so it's not like anyone's going home after this. They will. I'm sure they're gonna watch this a million times, analyze each other, all this game tape.
Well, we're fighting GA next week, so I'm gonna be watching this a million times. Yeah, so you watch out, GA. We're coming.
Throwing
for you.
weapons, dude. Oh yeah, you guys have 0 though, so.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll team kill our way to victory. 10 seconds till Master. Actually, more like 5 right now. Master's about to pop. This is a big
GA looks
round.
really spread.
Big round for GA. If they take this one, they basically solidify a tie or a win.
Right under Team W's feet.
Yeah, Team W in great position. They're looking, Soda's going somewhere, trying to find some cover. Gosh, I don't know if I would have moved way out there, but we'll see how it goes. Once again, Soda without a shield. This is craziness, people.
In the open with no cover.
Black Tide Cav coming in on the backside, picks up the bump slash on Ratzer. Takes him almost all the way down. Soda gets a hit on LaRue. Black Tide comes in on Cav, gets a bump slash. Still no kills for him. Soda pressured out in the middle of the field by Mitchell and a Cav with M pressing in on him. That's going to be a bad position. Oodle with a bow making shots.
GA shooting away.
Oodle lands a shot on Weirdo, who had just stopped Black Tide's horse. M in the back with Soda in a 1v1. But Rurin gets a great kill on Weirdo out in the middle. Bayo trying to run to Soda's rescue. 2 shots by Anders takes down Unicorn and X and Bayo. Black Tide fighting back, takes down Ratzer and Anders. Soda finally falls to M.
GA is down to 1 archer, I believe, while Team W has 2.
It's a 4v3 in favor of GA. We got about 30 seconds for the end of the round. 1 cav up for both teams. M gets the stop on Black Tide. Mitchell gets the kill on Oodle. LaRue takes down Black Tide. It's a 1v1 with Rurin on the flag versus 4 GA, and he falls to headshot from Rurin. Not what Team W was looking for.
That was a really good position from Anders. He was in this little nook, cranny, crevice, I don't know, but between this rock and this tree, and he just, the cab couldn't get to him. TMW cab spent forever trying to get to him, and they just couldn't. The archers were positioned so well. All cab by TMW.
And Oodle on a saddle horse with no armor. Obviously got the call late. GA is well prepared for this. They got the call early this time. They're in the little haystack barn area. So that leaves TMW waiting for Master. And I'm sure they're hoping for a very, very open one.
GA just completely given up map control entirely. Except for their cav, of course.
Putting a little depth to their position, but it's definitely focused on their current position right there in the haystacks.
I mean, as TMW, this is kind of a desperation move, but at this point, I mean, if you're not desperate right now, I'm not really sure when you would be. You have to win every single round from here on out if you just want to tie. So.
Yeah, I'd say that TMW won 2 rounds with a mix of troops, doing some good strategy, good cav kills. GA pushed back, winning 2 of their own. That's definitely the time where I would look to switch something up.
You also got to keep in mind the rounds TMW won, they were with that far master spawn, so there was no, they didn't have to engage in very tight close quarters. So I think every time, if they're gonna get an open spawn, if they can put in the cav work, they'll be okay. But this spawn is definitely not good for that.
Yeah, this doesn't help GA. Anticipating Master went ahead and moved to a little bit more central position on the map. That paid off for him as the spawn is right there in front, and Oodle just getting eaten up with where he was trying to dismount. Actually gets a hit through the wall on Ratzer, or on LaRue, but LaRue takes him down with a shot at that goofy position. Clockwise, in the middle of... Oh, and Black Tie comes in and TKs clockwise. Unicorn picks up Anders. LaRue takes down Unicorn. So that's a few down for TMW, which is key. GA has the spears out, looking to make some stops. Shimon on horse. Ratzer and LaRue come around. Bayo somehow makes it through 2 GA spears and a cav. Ruin gets dismounted. Shima almost picks him up. LaRue takes down Mr. X. Ratzer takes down Black Tide, both with headshots. LaRue doing the work with the bow. Ruin's the last man standing, 5 GA, falls to another headshot, Ratzer. That spawn definitely not advantageous for TMW, and it's 3-3 in the 3rd set.
Now they're just playing for rounds and pride. I would go back to the mixed troop, which TMW does, bringing out the archers.
Yep, Black Tide, clockwise, Ruin, archers. Soda's an archer, finally with a shield and a spear. There we are. That's the Soda we dislike. Good to see him back.
He went on vacation to Manland, and then he came back.
GA holding the same position, just in front of their spawn. I guess they finally figured out that that their spawn is better than Team W spawn. Both times they switched, they lost, so it's all about being in the right spawn.
It's really important when you find up your tents and you put them all in the correct order. And I think Jay's being able to do that.
You a wedge tent formation, or you prefer like column?
I think I don't know. I think wedge is kind of overdone. I like the column, and it's a lot easier to pick up and run when you have to. Like that's really important too.
You're right, everybody's doing the wedge these days. You're an innovative man, Raid. Innovative man.
Random planes top spawn. Come at me, bro.
10 seconds till master. Team W's taken somewhat of a middle position. A little bit of depth to their archers. Good spawn for GA, I'd say. They get to wrap around that master position a little bit better with the way that they're positioned. Team W would do great if they can get a... they're working him over there. So does Made It to the Church. If I were him, I'd keep flanking around, but we'll see what happens. Shots coming in. LaRue in a great position on that little barrel. Lands a hit on Clockwise. Anders in the middle looking to pick one up. And Jay doing a pushing far left of their spawn. Looks like they're running after Black Tide. Cavs coming in for GA. Black Tide's going to die. Shima comes in. X there trying to protect him. And Black Tide runs right into 2 more GA. Black Tide goes
5
down.
guys to getting Black Tide.
Yeah. So if I were Team W, I would have tried to
Respond somehow.
yeah, take advantage of that. Not worried about Black Tide, but push their remaining 2 guys to try and take them down, make it a 2-for-1. But unfortunately, all of GA has made it back to the flag, intact. Unicorn and M stand down the flag. X comes in with the couch, gets stopped by Oodle, and then taken down by LaRue. Bad communication there. LaRue takes down Oodle as well. Clockwise picks up Anders. M wraps up Unicorn and Melee. Ratzer takes down Soda. Team W's are falling fast. Weirdo picks up Clockwise. Last man standing Rurin falls to Shima. That's a 4-3 GA, fighting back from a 3-0.
That was pretty dirty. I mean, it seems like we were talking about earlier with the frustration and desperation, this and that. I really think, I mean, at this point, it's safe to say it's gotten into to TMW because, you know, the way they played that, it was just very sloppy, and you know, TMW usually isn't very sloppy. Like you were saying, you know, if they all go for Black Tide, why are you sending your whole team to try to save them when they've already sent their whole team over there? I mean, if you get there in time, it's just going to be an even fight, and you're going to be out of position. You might as well just take the 2 that they left near the flag, like you were saying. So, I think TMW is just looking very frustrated, and that round looked really sloppy.
I think you get gun shy. You hear things like that, like, "Oh my God, they're all coming for me," but you're not sure what to do because you know you're a little gun shy. They've been winning. They got some armor. You respect them. You respect their skills, so you're like, oh well, gosh, I don't want to run after these guys.
Yeah, it definitely looked like TMW just kind of froze, and you know, just kind of lacking the confidence there. And I mean, understandably so. They didn't expect to come in and get thrashed. Everybody thought it was gonna be close, and it has been at certain points. But I think Jay is really kind of proven to be a little bit too much for them right now. Although, I mean, I did like the all cav at the beginning of this map by TMW. That was nice to see.
Caught GA off guard with it being the first round. When they tried it again in the 4th round, GA was just ready for it.
Yeah, and that's, you know, the only reason it worked is because it is, you know, you're down. I think it was 8-1. And nobody would expect a high level scrim, and it's like, oh, we're just gonna go all in. Nobody would expect that, so I think that's why it was so good.
Hold on while I write this down.
Yeah, dude, pearls of wisdom.
So not sure what we're waiting for, but this is fun to watch, I guess. LaRue singles ready. Looks like we'll be going live here in a second. Going to the 4th set. The score is 11-5. I'm sorry, 12 12-5 in favor of GA.
I don't know. I can't count that high. I just hope TMW does well.
We're just curving with that black magic math.
Math's
does-
OP.
He does like ratios and stuff. Like I've heard of those, but I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah. I mean, was that like a patch? Did they patch that? I don't know. I haven't heard of it either. I don't think I'm gonna do it.
Good call. GA is coming out. They got 3 archers, 2 infantry, 2 cav. TMW running 3 infantry, 2 cav, 2 archers. X somehow already down to half as an archer. I missed how that happened. Oodle takes down M, and these teams are going quick.
Yeah, they're really just going at it.
LaRue with 2 shots, taking down Unicorn and X. Zachary and Anders trying to stay alive in that alcove is just too strong for Cav to go in. And this is looking bad for TMW. Ruin finally picks up Cleric Johnson, and looks like a few team hits, taking down Mitchell's horse. Soda gets pushed by LaRue. They're in a 1v1 melee. Ruin comes in, takes down Anders. And TMW showing signs of life. Clockwise takes down Mitchell. And it is a 3v3 swinging in their favor quick. Ruin and LaRue Ruin finally takes down LaRue after a strong melee. Soda gets a hit on Shima. Ruin goes to work as the infantry while Clockwise comes in on the back of Zachary and gets headshot as he lifts his shield. Zachary takes down Soda, but LaRue finished up Shima, and it's a 1v1 archer versus infantry. Kick, slash.
You gotta know the kicks are coming. You gotta know.
Picked up some kind of, looks like a Serenade sword. Oh, and one too many kicks. Ruin gets behind him, takes him down.
So, I really applaud TMW for having the balls to push so hard, but I don't know how they were able to run that back. You know, you leave LaRue and Anders and all the archers for GA and the alcove just shooting for that long. And as a certain Euro likes to say, you know, TMW was looking pretty strong.
Well, I think actually what happened is their archers were the downfall, because I think they took down not only 1 but maybe 2, both Mitchell and Shima's horse, as they rode by. So they were shooting at Rurin, who was out in the field, and those cav happened to ride by, and I think they took the arrows for him.
Yeah, but I think they got like three headshots too. So it was looking pretty dirty there for a minute. I mean, I know that TMW was looking like pretty dire straits, but I was impressed they were able to run it back.
Black Tide coming in, looks like he's the diversion while Team W position sets up. They're on the right side of church. Soda meleeing with M. Clockwise takes a him. Black Tide couches Zachary. Oodle takes down Mitchell. Looks like with a jav, headshot with a jav. Team W is up so far. Clockwise comes in, misses M's spear. M changed to the scimitar. Tries to pick up Oodle from behind, but he can't seal the deal. In the meantime, Unicorn takes down LaRue. Oodle and M going out in the middle. X takes down Shima off his horse. And Soda picks up Cleric Johnson. Finally, X takes down M with a shot. And is the last one. Ace. I should have set you up there. I didn't set you up.
Dude, I got too excited. I'm sorry. Next time I'll let you.
No. That was all me. I was too excited.
Dude, you set him up, I'll knock him down all day.
It's like, look at this. They're winning.
Where was this like 10 minutes ago, TMW? I mean,
Before they lost? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'm not sure if GA's letting off the gas at all, or if TMW is just like really angry and it's like slamming their keyboard with nerd strength. I'm not sure what. It's probably a little bit of both.
I'm looking at it. Looks like GA is playing a little less defensively here. Pushing up the TMW spawn. not all grouped together, so they might be letting off a little bit, but at the same time, Team W's doing the work to win the round.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely taking nothing away from them. That was really good, especially the archer play there. That seems to be doing well, but I'm just kind of, like I said, impressed by Team W here and kind of surprised at GA. I mean, technically they've won, but it's not over. You know, we're playing for rounds.
Yeah, GA is definitely not the type of team to not want the score to be big. When they win, they want to win big. Honestly, I'd say probably what happened is they lost. Team W lost, and the pressure came off, so they just started playing. They finally started to play the game again.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Wow, that jab hit. I think Oodle throw that from like, what, 6 yards away? Gotta be. That's a Hail Mary. Clockwise taking on one of the Euros, cab to calf. I'm not sure who that is yet. Shima.
Team W just setting up over by the church. 5 seconds to master. GA is taking Team W spawn. Clockwise still playing with Shima back there. Neither one of them taking any damage. Clockwise took a little damage. Master spawns far right or far left, depending on which spawn you are, way out in the field. Shima comes in on the backside of Soda, gets stopped, takes a hit. Horse goes down in the middle of a bunch of Team W. Luckily, his team had pushed up and is able to keep him from going down immediately. Mitchell comes in, gets a hit on Soda. Got some melee in the middle. Claire Johnson takes a hit from Oodle. Claire Johnson takes down Soda. LaRue gets a headshot on Clockwise, while Ruin takes down Mitchell. Clark takes out Unicorn. Black Tide fighting back, but gets taken down immediately, shortly after he took down M. Shima on a sliver of health. LaRue halfway down. 3 TMWs, 4 GAs. No cav up.
5 GAs.
Oh.
That math.
Mr. X with his spear out, with no cav. I'd probably go ahead and make the swap there. Oh, he's an archer with a bamboo spear. And doing what he can versus Cleric Johnson. A couple of quick feints, he goes down. In the meantime, Oodle wraps up Anders. He got a 2v4. G is heading for the flag.
Those GA archers are running the wrong way. Enemies the other way, guys. Good shot.
LaRue takes down Oodle. Ruin and Cleric Johnson, he breaks the shield. Cleric makes the block, misses the kick. Gets slashed, barely lives. LaRue finishes up with a headshot.
LaRue's just a cyborg of headshots. Dealer of death. LaRue OP.
So you're saying he is or has some type of bot? Cough.
Let's just say he's the Haley of archers. That's all I'm gonna say. No further comment at this point. Piers, did you go to Europe and change your name?
Come back to us, Piers. We miss you. Team W coming out of their spawn. GA pushing up quick. Ruin caught out of position early. 3 GAs pressing on him. Cav comes in to take the pressure off. Anders hops on the stairs trying to make a shot. Soda is there to answer. A lot of GA Lamellar. Oodle and Cleric Johnson go at it. Mitchell comes in from behind but misses. Unicorn takes down M. Big TK. Every TK is big. X takes down Soda. Oodle trying to hang in there, but Cleric Johnson finally seals the deal. So melee is going on the outside of the fence. 2 GAs with a sliver of health. Clockwise and Unicorn. Unicorn wraps it up on LaRue. Anders takes down Ruin in the meantime. Clockwise is wrapping around, gets outside the wall, comes into pressure Anders. Unicorn fighting Zachary. Clockwise dismounts, takes him on foot. Unicorns wraps up Zachary. Clockwise and Anders still going at it, while Black Tide, Mr. X, and Cleric Johnson are fighting over on the side. Black Tide breaks off, Comes in, tries to seal the deal on Anders. He's able to dodge the side. Shield breaks, makes a block, goes down to clockwise, but Claire Johnson wraps up both Mr. X and Black Tide. It's a 2v1 with Claire Johnson standing. Master pops right in the middle. One of Team W's is on the horse, clockwise remounted. Cleric with his spear out. Unicorn and clockwise versus Claire Johnson. And Unicorn takes him down with an overhead.
The cav play there by Team W was good. Honestly, though, I was surprised the Serenade horses stayed up as long as they did. Usually in that kind of sustained firefight with, you know, really high-level archers, you lose the horses so fast, but they did pretty well keeping them up for as long as they could. And I think that was really the difference, you know? If they could just get maybe one, possibly two armored horses, that would help them immensely.
Yeah, with this closed map, I mean, it's really hard to do the Serenade horse dance, especially against multiple archers.
I mean, even against decent level archers, it's hard, but I mean, these archers for GA are so good.
I think a big thing in that melee was Clockwise actually dismounting.
Yeah, he had a choice. He could either disengage and leave his friendly inf to die, or come back in and you know, lock the archer down. And you know, his horse is probably going to go down, so he did the smart thing, came in, dismounted, and just tied the archer up.
And I saw Unicorn play that really smart because he became really defensive until Clockwise got back in the fight and engaged that archer so that he wasn't getting shot while he tried to melee. So really very natural play style you could see from these guys.
Yeah, and that's just time spent together. You know, like, yeah, Unicorn knew that Clockwise was coming back, and Clockwise had the decision to make. Like, he went and he looked at the other part of the battle, and I mean, if that was going bad, he probably would have just let Unicorn out to dry, just, you know, to affect the battle elsewhere. But, you know, it worked out.
Both teams have come to meet. Oh, and Oodle taking LaRue down quick. He got caught in the middle of Ruin and Oodle. Looks like Ruin got the hit on him, and Oodle finished him up with a jab. Clockwise gets a couch on Cleric Johnson. A lot going on in that cubby there. Oodle wraps up M. Anders on the barrel, not able to get kick. In the meantime, Soda takes down Anders with a shot. Oh, and it's just
Ace!
Ace! What was that raid? What just happened?
Oh, that was an ace. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh wow. These guys are good.
Team W kind of put an exclamation mark on that, and that's good. That's nice. What's the final score?
The final score is 13-9.
It's pretty close.
They made it that way, yeah.
I think there's a certain pundit that predicted 13-9 GA. I think that might be me.
I don't know. We're gonna have to get our
I'll
newsroom
my
on this.
calculator out. But yeah, I think as far as the impact on the finals go, I think that was such a close match that it's probably, like, any kind of momentum you can glean from that's probably pretty negligible. Because yeah, sure, GA won, but Team W really kind of like put the exclamation mark on it at the end. So either team can really kind of pull a lot from that.
Well, hopefully Team W takes from this, and hopefully every other team that's going to face GA takes from this, that you don't need to discount their melee. You know, you might, if you got some decent cav, you might want to think about going to an open map. Even if your infantry is like uber awesome, wreck everybody.
Yeah, and you know, like, GA definitely showed that their inf is good, and we all know that their range is good. So yeah, any team trying to face these guys, I mean, it's kind of been my opinion for the entirety of the tournament when going up against GA that you really want to try to stretch their legs out as much as you can when it comes to the cav game, the open game. Try to play on open maps with cav as much as you can. Even if you can get them on coursers, that'd be great. But you know, I think this really kind of just proves that, you know, Team W tried to pull them into that cav game and it worked out. But I think it was a little bit too late that they really kind of committed to it. I mean, I think at one point they were running 4 Serenade cav. I mean, their team was only seven guys, right? So
Team W doing what it takes to make the score respectable, but losing in the third set had GA 3-0, and GA came back four rounds straight and won it.
A lot of rallies like in this. There's been a few sets where it's been 2-0 or 3-0, and then the other team will just come back. That's kind of interesting. I mean, most of the time you don't really see snowballing quite so much in upper level play. I mean, at least when I play, we don't. Usually it's kind of more back and forth than that. But letting these teams to rally like that, it's kind of interesting to see at this level.
So what you're saying, Raid, is that the current rule set brings like an interesting aspect to the battle.
Yeah, I think that might be true. And honestly, I think we can maybe even stand to drop the goal down possibly a little bit more, go easy on the warhorses.
So, well, anyway, guys, this was an awesome match between TNW and GA. Final score 13-9 in favor of GA. So GA holds on to the top spot. Team W takes another loss. So right now that's 2 losses for them. I believe 8 wins.
Has GA lost yet?
GA lost to WK. And they got Valiant coming up next week.
So no more undefeateds then, for anybody.
Yep. Yeah. At this point, and that's been an amazing thing with the UNAC tournament. We'll wrap this stream up in a second, but it's just been so open. Nobody's come in and dominated. The top spots are really open to grabs.
Well, I mean, these guys are going to see each other again, so in the finals, and I mean, who knows? I mean, very likely one of them can end up winning the whole thing, but we'll see. I mean, I think BKS may have something to say.
Yeah. One roll those bowing guys out. Anyway, hey, hope you've enjoyed the stream brought to you by Warband NA. BKS WK coming up at 7 o'clock tonight. Warband NA is going to be hosting that as well, and we would have Raid co-hosting, but he's kind of got to go kill some people.
I'll do both. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
So appreciate E-Man doing all the camera work, and appreciate all our viewers. We'll see you tonight.